A diagnosis of heart disease can be devastating. If you or a loved one has received such a diagnosis, maybe you've wondered what it means for your quality of life and if you can ever feel whole again. Or maybe you're curious to learn about some of the ways to prevent heart disease. Regardless of your heart's health, it's possible to live a full, abundant life and experience wholeness. Heart disease generally refers to a variety of conditions that affect the heart's structure and function. Many of these conditions are related to plaque buildup in the walls of the arteries. You may be familiar with the term cardiovascular disease. Well, while all heart diseases are cardiovascular diseases, not all cardiovascular diseases are heart diseases. Let's look at some of the different types of heart disease. And this is important because each type has its own symptoms and treatment. In some cases, lifestyle changes and medicine can make a huge difference in improving health. But in other cases, surgery may be necessary to help the heart work well again. When most people talk about heart disease, they're often referring to coronary artery disease, or CAD for short. CAD occurs when plaque, made up of fat, cholesterol, calcium, and other substances found in the blood, builds up in the coronary arteries, restricting the blood flow to the heart. When there's a complete block of one of the coronary arteries, the result is a heart attack. And arrhythmia is when your heart has an irregular beating pattern. While serious arrhythmias may happen on their own, they often develop as a result of other heart problems. When someone experiences heart failure, it means their heart can't pump enough blood to meet their body's needs. Heart failure is usually caused by coronary artery disease, but it can also happen in conditions such as thyroid disease, high blood pressure, heart muscle disease, and others. Your heart has 4 valves that open and close to direct blood flow through your heart's 4 chambers, your lungs, and blood vessels. A defect can make it difficult for a valve to open and close properly. When that happens, your blood flow can be blocked and even leak. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in women. For men, cardiovascular disease usually develops 7 to 10 years later than for the average woman. The risk of heart disease in women is often underestimated because of the misperception that females are protected against it. Unfortunately, the under-recognition of heart disease in women and the differences in their clinical symptoms can result in less aggressive treatments. Compared to men, women with heart disease are more likely to have risk factors associated with the disease, and they're more likely to have normal to mild coronary artery disease. However, women with advanced disease are at higher risk than men for adverse outcomes such as heart attack, stroke, and rehospitalization at 6 months. When blood supply to the heart is restricted, both men and women may experience pain called angina. Women often describe this as sharp, burning chest pain, and they're likely to have symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, shortness of breath, and pain in the jaw, neck, throat, abdomen, or back. Common risk factors for heart disease include being overweight, inactivity, smoking tobacco, and eating a high-fat, high-sodium, and high-carbohydrate diet. If you have other chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, or if you have a family history of heart disease, you may also be at greater risk. Many of these risks stem from poor lifestyle choices, and unfortunately, in the United States, it's much easier to make an unhealthy decision rather than a healthy one. This might help to explain why heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States for both men and women. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 4 deaths are from heart disease. That's 610,000 deaths per year. With numerous risk factors and the daunting statistics, it almost seems like heart disease is inevitable. But this is not the case. Prevention is possible. So if you're diagnosed, don't lose hope. You can feel whole and live a full life with heart disease. There is good evidence that heart disease can even be reversed by making significant lifestyle changes. You just need to know where to start. By recognizing the power of these positive lifestyle choices, you can begin to take the small steps that lead to a better life. Your journey to feeling whole may be found within the 8 principles of creation health. This lifestyle works naturally with your body to improve your health reduce your risk of disease, and help you discover more enjoyment in your life. Whatever your current circumstances, you can feel better, and the Creation Health principles will give you the tools you need to do it. You'll start by learning to care for all of you, mind, body, and spirit. This is the key to experiencing greater well-being and living a more fulfilling life. There's no better time to get started on your journey than right now. Let's start by talking about 8 practical ways to guide you on your path to feeling more whole, maintaining a healthy blood pressure, check it out, cut the clutter, don't settle for less, find your purpose in life, skip the drama, look on the bright side, and reach for plant foods. Choice is the first principle of Creation Health. All the other principles flow from choosing a course of action that improves your heart health. Start by learning all you can about heart disease so you can make the best, most informed decisions later on. Your blood pressure is the force of blood flowing through your vessels that carries the blood to the other parts of your body. Good lifestyle choices can help maintain a healthy blood pressure, while bad lifestyle choices can keep your blood pressure at unhealthy levels. High blood pressure causes your arteries to slowly become narrowed from scarring, increasing your risk for heart attack and other complications. Because of this, it's important to check your blood pressure on a regular basis and know your numbers. You can find a blood pressure machine at most any store that has a pharmacy inside. If you notice your blood pressure is too high or too low, you should call your physician and schedule a checkup. Getting quality sleep does more than just make you feel rested for the next day, because as you sleep, your body repairs your cells, replenishes the hormones that help fight stress, and lowers your blood pressure, giving your heart a chance to also rest and heal. Research indicates that a good night's sleep also leads to less stress, a stronger immune system, lower blood pressure, and increased weight loss, all keys to keeping your heart healthy and strong. Have you ever tried sleeping around someone who snores? It's not easy, is it? Or perhaps you're the one who snores in the house. Well, snoring is often a symptom of sleep apnea, which also has a connection to heart disease and high blood pressure. People who suffer from sleep apnea will experience pauses in breathing 5 to 30 times or more an hour during sleep. And this causes the oxygen levels in the blood to go down, which may result in a fluttering of the heart's rhythm. Symptoms of sleep apnea include loud snoring, gasping for air during sleep, morning headache, irritability, awakening with a dry mouth, and excessive daytime sleepiness. So if you or someone you know are experiencing these symptoms, be sure to talk to a doctor. Our environment encompasses all the things around us, whether indoors or out. It's important to realize that your surroundings profoundly affect your health and well-being. Visualize the spaces you occupy on a regular basis, and what do you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel in your home, your workplace, or how about your car? Is the space cluttered and messy, or is it neat and orderly? Does your environment bring you peace or just stress you out? Well, stress is no joke. Stress affects your heart health in negative ways, so begin to look at your environment in ways that you can minimize the stress you feel and create a space that's nurturing and serene. Start by cutting the clutter. Living with clutter subconsciously reminds you of the work that needs to be finished and does not give your eyes an opportunity to rest. It also creates a sense of chaos, which can feel overwhelming and stress you out even more. Begin decluttering your space by starting small. Don't try to tackle your whole living area at once. Choose a single room and start there. The kitchen is a great place to begin. Set a timer for 10 minutes and clean up as much as you can in that time. Then go do something else. By making an effort to set short amounts of time aside dedicated just to clean up, you'll have your space cleaned up in no time and you'll be less likely to give up. For an extra boost, try listening to music while you clean. There's nothing like a good song to turn tedious chores into a fun, enjoyable experience. It should come as no surprise that activity is good for your health, especially when it comes to your heart health. Starting an exercise routine will offer many benefits, such as lowering your cholesterol and blood pressure. If you're over age 35, have a chronic disease, or exercise-related symptoms, be sure to talk to your doctor first before beginning a new workout plan. And while you exercise, listen to what your body is telling you. Be aware of any heart-related symptoms such as chest pain or dizziness. Be sure to follow your doctor's recommendations, and if you haven't been exercising regularly, take it slow and easy at first to give your body time to adjust. Once you get started with your new exercise routine, don't settle for less. Activities that are light or moderate in intensity are good and offer the most benefit in health to those who are really out of physical shape. But don't be afraid to push yourself to a more vigorous level. And here's some clues that let you know you've reached a vigorous intensity level. Your breathing is deep and rapid, you break a sweat after only a few minutes of the activity, and you can't say more than a few words without pausing for breath. Some vigorous activities include race walking, jogging or running, swimming laps, tennis, fast bicycling, jumping rope, and hiking uphill. Now, these may sound like some pretty daunting tasks, but give one or two a try. You may just surprise yourself, and you'll unlock even richer health benefits. When confronting a serious health issue such as heart disease, you undoubtedly have more questions than answers. Questions such as, how will my life change, and what does the future hold? At times like these, it's good to know you're not alone, and there's someone you can trust. The same God who created you also takes a personal interest in your well-being. He wants you to live an abundant life. By trusting that God loves you and has a plan for your life, you'll be embracing a truth that can offer great comfort, even in the darkest of times. It's been said that the two greatest days of your life are the day you're born and the day you figure out why. Research agrees. Having a purpose in life is good for your health. In fact, people who have a sense of purpose have a reduced risk of death from heart disease. If you're trying to find a greater sense of meaning in your life, start by exploring new things. Maybe you'd like to volunteer at an organization or take steps toward achieving your own dreams. Whatever the case may be, filling your life with purpose is powerful and uplifting. Think about the friends and family you love. They make life fun, don't they? Did you know they can also improve your health? Studies show that positive social relationships have a range of positive health outcomes, including improved mental and physical health and even a longer life. Your relationships also have a tremendous impact on your health habits, good and bad, and during times of stress, your friends and family should be a vital source of emotional support. Lean on those close relationships to help you manage your heart disease. Journey with them on the path to better health. Just as good, loving relationships can enhance your health, toxic, burdening relationships can have the opposite effect. Stressful relationships aren't just bad for your emotional heart, they're bad for your physical heart. To avoid unnecessary social strain, focus on building relationships with people you can trust. But trust is a two-way street. You can help foster trust in your relationships by assuming the best of people and practicing empathy toward others. And remember to offer forgiveness when you need to. Do you consider yourself to be an optimist or a pessimist? Well, studies show that optimistic people are twice as likely as their negative counterparts to have healthy hearts. But according to the American Heart Association, staying positive can be especially difficult for those with heart disease. Studies suggest that up to 33% of heart attack patients develop some degree of depression, which is much higher than the usual 10% of the general population that deals with depression. You can begin to battle depression and negativity by looking on the bright side of unwelcome situations and circumstances. People with a positive outlook have a lower risk of dying from heart disease than those who view the world in a more negative light. And while many people think optimism is a trait you must be born with, the truth is you can learn these skills, even if you don't consider yourself to be a positive person. To practice positivity, start by viewing life's disappointments as opportunities to learn, grow, and improve yourself. When it comes to nutrition and heart disease, it's important to be mindful of what you choose to put in your body. The foods you eat will either decrease or increase your risk of heart disease, especially when combined with other lifestyle factors. It's interesting that in the Bible's account of creation, the first menu was one of fruits, nuts, seeds, and vegetables. Scientists now agree that God's original plan is still the healthiest way to eat. When it comes to treating heart disease, a diet that eliminates harmful fats and excess sodium is vital, and adopting a plant-based diet of whole foods will help protect your blood vessels from developing potentially dangerous blockages. Diets rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, and healthy fats such as olive oil and avocado can go a long way in lowering your risk of heart disease. But if you're not used to eating healthy, it may be difficult to start. So try adding one fruit or vegetable to each of your meals, and over time continue this trend, increasing your intake of heart-healthy foods. These include foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, soluble fiber, folate, potassium, magnesium, and vitamin E, all of which help move your heart toward health and wholeness. So, if heart disease is a reality for you, remember, it doesn't have to define you. You can live a whole, healthy life by following the creation health principles. Discover God's wholeness for your mind, body, and spirit. Now that's a healthy prescription to last a lifetime.